COPE has terminated the membership of Johannesburg Council Speaker Colleen Makhubele. The party has accused her of violating its constitution after claims that she's part of the newly established SA Rainbow Alliance. She was axed alongside the party's chairperson in Tshwane, Ofense Moalusi. The pair was seen on the alliance's posters making the rounds on social media over the weekend. Let's unpack the story further. We're joined this morning by political analyst Makhude. It's great to see you as always, sir. Thanks very much for coming on. You know, I always say that in politics things are never as they seem, right? How do we understand what's happened and this decision that COPE has made in the light of the fact that we don't have her side of the story, Colleen Makhubele? She's not yet spoken out on the media.
Well, she has spoken out already because posters are on the polls of at least what I saw yesterday in Johannesburg and in Sandton, meaning that it takes time to design such a poster, which means that she has had these intentions or plans at least for more than a month. So, and posters are already up. So I think she has already communicated the intentions of what she wants to be post-2024 elections.
And to your point, in fact, COPE says she wasn't ousted particularly, she wasn't fired particularly, she fired herself. Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, she fired herself by having a poster. I think the best that would have happened. In fact, I think that the entire thing was clumsy. We would have at least expected some sort of press conference announcement. But what we saw, at least from where I sit, I was really surprised to see posters yesterday with name Sarah and a picture on the lamppost of Johannesburg. So it was very abrupt and quick, and I think this was, well, at least in terms of announcement. But in terms of her planning, obviously this took much more longer than we think because, as I've said, designing a poster alone, forget about coming up with manifestos, etc. Just designing a poster will take you at least more than 2 weeks in Johannesburg.
So what do we make of this? Clumsy at best? What was she thinking here? Look, let's face it, going from one organization to another in politics is nothing new. It happens all the time. Was this just a lack of savvy in how it was handled?
Well, two things. One is that there is obviously something is not right within COPE. She's the second very senior figure to leave after William Adisha. So there's something not right there. Something is going on within COPE which need to require fixing. But at the same time, I think she has identified opportunities for her to be a standalone politician on her own right. We remember not long ago she has been crisscrossing the country, particularly within the colour communities in Eldorado Park, taking certain issues there within the community. So she has been in that process of establishing herself as an independent politician away from Monsieur Lekota, who refuses, of course, to vacate power, notwithstanding that all signs suggest that it's time for her to leave. So I think she has identified an opportunity, and we are likely to see her, I think, making noise now that she's campaigning for 2024. She's no longer going to be campaigning for municipal elections. It might happen, but for now, at least, we know that she is campaigning for a position within the national legislature.
If we can't cast our minds back to 2009, Tembisa, perhaps even further than that, I can't remember now offhand when COPE was formed, but it was meant to be an answer, right, to those looking for an alternative going into the elections for the dominant African National Congress. It's been quite a journey since then, and we're now building up to what is meant to be quite a watershed election in 2024 next year. What does this mean now? You've talked about this being the second high-profile loss for the Congress of the People. Is there COPE to be spoken of for 2024?
I don't think so. I think COPE is not going to do very well come next elections in 2024. Colleen Makhubele was a rising star, liked by many people. The fact that she became the speaker in the Joburg Municipal Council suggests, at least to me, that she had a little bit of clout as a politician. And I think if COPE was really serious about winning some voters come 2024, they would have tried hard to maintain the skill and presence of persons such as Colleen Makhubele. But of course, we know that there's always been squabble within COPE in terms of people wanting to maintain certain positions, etc. We talked about Mr. Musweli Kota, who refuses to move. And I think what also led to Colleen Makhubele's departure is purely the uncomfort that she has found herself in within COPE, not being able to express herself, etc. So I don't think COPE is going to really do well come next year. We have a lot of new kids on the block, particularly, the new Rise Mzansi and all of them are going to give COPE a good run for their money. Yeah,
it certainly does appear that COPE is its own worst enemy and has been. So Colleen Makhubele obviously no longer will be serving as Johannesburg Council Speaker. We've talked about what this means for her now previous political home. What does it mean for Johannesburg, for the city, and for service delivery, which we know is limping along for all kinds of reasons?
Further deterioration, as you know, the city is not doing very well in terms of its leadership. People such as Colleen Makhubele were, presented a semblance of hope. But with her departing, of course, now it's another challenge that the people of Johannesburg are going to be facing, leading towards the next election. So we could easily say now that we are in a political ICU as the people of Johannesburg in terms of service delivery. And I think COPE is also going to suffer. And it might just, by the way, collapse the current coalition in Johannesburg if COPE does not really manage this properly, because I think the ANC will take an advantage, and other parties that are within this coalition will take an advantage of calling for the new mayor within Johannesburg.
The fallout continues. Tembisa Fakuda, political analyst, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Great to get your insights on this developing story. She's not spoken explicitly, but perhaps she has said it all with those posters already on lampposts in Johannesburg.